What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter. Welcome to the Truth Hurt Show. We're going to jump right into it. I ain't going to hold you up too long. In this show, we talk about life. We talk about the drill culture, outside the drill culture. If your chest weak as hell, you need to walk the fuck up out the room, because when I talk about like a pair of gym shoes, I don't know if you fit it. So shit, you going to have to deal with that. First thing, we're going to talk about Lil Durk. You know, Lil Durk got a tweet going viral when he basically saying he going to go to war about his girl. And it looked like his girl, this D-Thing baby mama, you know, that's Lil Durk brother who was shot and killed. This shit crazy because Lil Durk used to be around Durk and D-Thing them and shit like that, around Von, going on tour with them and shit. All along, he side-eyeing his girl and shit like that. Now, I don't really know what to say about that. D-Thing gone, you know, so that might have started after D-Thing left, you know. Like some people say, shit, it's better to fuck with a friend instead of a op, you know. But then again, the op just don't look right fucking with one of the homeboys and shit. That come off wrong and shit. But that's a grown-ass lady. She got kids, you know, time passed. Sometimes you can't, you know what I'm saying, be mad at who a motherfucker heart choose. But then again, I understand, you know. It just look a little weird in my opinion, especially in the culture. But this type of shit happen every day in Chicago. Everybody lady, some motherfucker ex-baby mama and shit like that. Every bitch nigga is somebody baby mama, ex-baby daddy and shit like that. So this how the city is, and these hoods be small and shit. So it be like that. One thing I can say is I think that's the end of Lil Durk and Oblock. I don't think Durk fucking with nobody from the O. I think he feel that shit weird. Shawty's been throwing sneak disses at him. Then Lil Durk fucking with his, you know, brother, baby mama. Then he saying shit like he want all the smoke about her. Like, what do you mean you want all the smoke? Like, you know, that kind of felt a little weird. So I think any chance of Lil Durk fucking with somebody out the O, I think that's done. I wonder if he's still fucking with Muwop. You know, shit like that how you in your feelings that fuck around and leave Muwop in there by himself to, you know what I'm saying, get his own lawyer and shit like that. So, you know, I think this was a bad time to really be promoting that shit when Durk is kind of supporting Muwop, who from the O and shit. But, hey, it is what it is in this shit. Shit just feel a little bit weird when I tell you that shit, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. A motherfucker told me, man, Truth, you be all kind of ways, man. One moment you happy, one moment you sad, one moment you this. Look, I can't help this shit. Sometimes randomly I start to remember some of the shady shit you did. Some of the fuck shit you did, some of the sucker shit you did to me, you know? Yeah, I told you I forgive you. I told you I forgave you. It's in the past, but that shit always replaying in my head. So one moment I can be smiling at you, hey, your friend, and one moment I can be looking at your ass like, you know, I can't help it. Bogus ass shit tend to replay in my head over and over. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. I ain't two-faced. I ain't selfish. I just remember that bullshit that you put. Understand that shit. And people don't seem to get that shit. I always tell people that shit, man. And another thing, you gotta get your mind on the right shit, man. You know? You got too much shit going on. It's too much shit on your plate. You know, it's too much things out here and too many motherfucking things that you should be focusing on instead of putting all your energy in a motherfucker who don't give a fuck about you, a motherfucker who not giving you the same love and energy you giving them. You got all kind of shit, man. Your bills due. You ain't got no car, job ain't paying you right. You need to get better with your kids, all kind of shit, man. You focusing on the wrong shit. I'm going to tell you, the best thing I can tell you is love who love you. If you don't know who that is, you don't know who on your team, you don't know who on your side, think about this. When you was fucked up, you lost your job, you had no money in your pocket, you know, you just broke up in your relationship, you was going through depression, you isolated yourself, you had an attitude with everybody, you was negative as hell. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted to be around you and shit. Whoever was around you during that time, that's your real motherfucking friend. You understand that, man? You gotta love who love on you. The easiest motherfucking thing I can tell you on that shit. Phil Jackson threw me off. It's a video going viral with Phil Jackson, the old coach of the Bulls. He talking about some weird shit about he stopped watching basketball ever since they put Black Lives Matter slogans on the ground, you know, putting equality slogans on jerseys and shit. He said he stopped fucking with the game when they started doing that shit. I mean, I understand what he mean, you know, marketing things and shit. That's sports to be sports, to be politics to politics. I get that, but, you know, them slogans was nice slogans, you know, Black Lives Matter, you know, equality, treat black people right. Fuck you mad at that for, Phil? You threw me off. Now, I'm about to say, fuck all them championships and that. You feel me? But you threw me off with that shit because I'm going to tell y'all something. I think people tend to forget we were slaves. Y'all beat the fuck out of our ancestors. Y'all raped our ancestors. Y'all did very evil shit to black people. So equality, you should be lucky that's all the fuck we asking for, and we not running around this bitch wanting revenge. What the fuck wrong with you? You're lucky all the fuck we want is just to be equal. Y'all act like y'all don't understand. We could be out in this bitch banding together because we want revenge for what the fuck y'all did. You feel me? You remember that shit y'all did, now all of a sudden the young people done got violent, now you want us to calm the fuck down. It wasn't none of that shit when y'all were doing that bullshit. You feel me? That's all the fuck I'm gonna tell you, man. Y'all feel that shit threw me off. I don't understand what the hell you talking about. You feel me? You never know who got secret animosity against you. Undercover haters is real. Be careful what the fuck you're telling people, man. Be careful telling motherfuckers all your business, all your secrets, bringing people to where you live at, telling people about your family, all kind of shit. You could be educating an enemy, man. On some real shit. Young lady, stop telling your new boyfriends, your brother, a bitch ass nigga, your daddy, get on my nerves, his bitch ass and shit, because when your boyfriend slap your motherfucking ass up, he not gonna be afraid of your bag up, because you done told him they whole ass niggas. You feel me? Be smart on this shit. Don't throw your family on the bus for nothing. Try to tighten up your family, man. Don't be just, I'm not a big fan of burning the bridge. You never know if you got to get back across that shit, man. Don't let the devil have you out here doing shit that you normally wouldn't do. You got to be smart out here, my nigga. Another thing I want to tell you, man, I'm trying to focus on a lot of shit, man. I got shit down here that I want motherfuckers to understand, man. Another thing I want to talk about is, it was a 14-year-old that recently lost his life by the name of Lil. Think he was like a gang member. They say he was from Shorty Mob. Dude, 14 years old. Just think about it. It was probably a grown-ass man came in, blah, 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 blicked him down. Think about that. It was probably a grown-ass man with gray hair all on his beard, probably wife, kid, all kind of shit, out there gang banging and took a 14-year-old life. What the fuck? And then another thing, how the fuck is it a 14-year-old in a gang? Like, where the fuck do that come from? Like, ain't no, even if you're not an OG, fuck the OG. What about the young OG, the 22 to 23-year-old? How in the fuck y'all got a 13, 14-year-old hanging with y'all and shit? Like, I don't understand that shit. I might be confused, but when I was 14 years old, I was eating fruit roll-ups and shit, man. I was waiting on the cartoons to come on Saturday and shit. I was still in control of my mama. I was probably still getting a whooping and shit at 13 or 14 and shit. I was told I couldn't come outside and shit like that. I don't understand. How in the fuck these young people got that wild? Shorty got a blick on him and all kind of shit. But that don't judge him, because I learned by being out here. Just because you see motherfucker acting like a gang member and shit don't mean it. Sometimes you simulate that shit because you want to come outside. So you act like what everybody else acting like. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying that's the smart thing to do. I'm just telling you, I done seen people do that shit before, and I just think that's not going to always come off the right way, in my opinion, Lil Durk was speaking on KingVon in the interview, I think with XXL Magazine. He said he gonna remember KingVon in the positive. Like, everybody called him serial killers, murderers, and all this shit like that. Everybody say KingVon. They say he played with that 24 hours. I'm not saying he didn't. I never ever talked to KingVon. I never had the opportunity to speak with KingVon. But I did have an interaction with him. A wild-ass interaction with him. I actually spoke on that in my new interview with Kim Capone that's going to be dropping pretty soon, maybe next week. I spoke on that. A lot of people don't know that. I never met KingVon, but I had an interaction with him, and it was wild as hell. And I spoke on my interactions I had with FBG Duck. I had 3 interactions with FBG Duck. I interviewed him one time. You got to remember, we had a long conversation before we even did the interview, I spoke with him, and I spoke with him 2 other times. One time I spoke with Duck, he wasn't really happy about that shit. Like, on some real shit, he wasn't really happy with me. He kind of spoke on a little bit of that in a Zach TV interview and shit like that. But I'm going to tell you more about that in my new interview with Kim Capone. Y'all get a chance to check it out. But Lil Durk talking about KingVon. I want to tell you something about this. I'm not saying Von wasn't a serial killer. I'm not saying he wouldn't murk you. Shit, I remember watching a live with him and Melly, and they was basically having a contest about who had more bodies. So, I think Von was very flamboyant. I think he had that energy. I think he was charismatic and all kind of shit. So people gravitated to that. He knew what people wanted to pay attention to, So one thing I can say, though, people dig up his old tweets of him tweeting and talking about murders and shit. That's how they know he's a serial killer. But what the one thing people don't tend to tell you is, All his friends was tweeting about those guys, you know. If you go to all the guys in the Oblock and go to a lot more guys that was cool with Von, they all were tweeting towards their enemies, tweeting towards KI, tweeting towards Boss Trill, saying things about murders and deaths and this and Tuka. It wasn't just Von. Von's more marketable. Well, we can put it on Von, but if that's the case, everybody's serial killers, because Von wasn't the only one talking about murders and shit like that. I mean, you listen to Exposing Me, Ruger and Duck was talking about a lot of murders in that song. Not saying that they killed these people, you know, sometimes when the hood into it with a hood, you know, people diss each other. But I get it, you know, people tend to link him to that shit because he rapped about things. I'm not gonna lie, Von had that killer energy. I want to be honest with you. His energy was real strong. He was making killing music marketable. You know, before Von, disc records wasn't really viewing that much. But, you know, I don't want to get too much in that because I spoke on a lot of that in my new interview, man. But I find that very crazy that Von had that energy. But one thing I can say, if we going to strictly go off his tweets, then it was a lot of people tweeting death shit. You know, a lot of people was tweeting about the ops, you know. Some of these guys' friends were killed by certain neighborhoods. So, yeah, they dissed everybody who died and left and cracked jokes. And it's people who was cracking jokes and laughing about when Melly died. Melly was shot inside of a house party in a ghetto, in a gangster neighborhood for the birthday, a celebration, I believe, for like Can't Get Right Life. You know, ain't no op gonna be in that party. Now, if it was a drive-by outside, different, but inside that party, ain't no op crazy enough to go in that kind of party that had some of the most respected gang members inside of that house. So, you know, Von was talking about that, but we know they didn't do that. You know, so that's why I say you got to be careful with the tweets. Now, I ain't saying the tweets didn't unveil something, because he was a wild-ass man, and my interaction with him was, you know, it kind of goes along with what people talking about, to be honest with you, man. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. I've been a little busy lately. A lot of people been saying, Truth, we ain't been seeing you on the internet, man. What the hell going on? People dropping interviews. Have you retired and shit? No, I ain't retired. I've been doing this shit for a long time. A lot of people got to understand that, a long time. So every now and then, you got to take a chill from this shit, man. Be too much death in the air and shit like that, you know. So we back with the interviews. But before I talk about that, I want to speak on another thing. You know, they claimed that it was going to be a big Chicago team takeover. The kids are going to kill people at Millennium Park. The Chicago police was prepared to hurt the young people in Chicago today. I seen it all on the news. They were prepared. They was out here, SWATs. They got motherfucking sticks and shit. They saying if you in that park, Millennium Park, past 6 o'clock, without an adult, they putting your ass out that park. And what you mean putting you out that park mean? Y'all gotta go. Hell no. You know what that shit mean. You feel me? So, teens, we gotta be better than that too. Let's be honest. Going downtown, tearing people cribs and tearing up cars and just being disrespectful, cracking motherfuckers upside the head who innocent walking down the street just because they by themselves. That downtown shit was too much. That was ghetto as hell. That's reckless. Don't tear your own shit up. You know, you gonna tear somebody else's shit up. Go somewhere else to do that shit. Don't tear your own shit up, man. Be wise about that. That was irritating. Parents, y'all gotta raise your kids better. You know your son reckless as hell. You know your daughter reckless as hell, man. You know? Now you finna have a new baby. Make sure you teach that new baby different than you taught that other motherfucking baby, because his ass is reckless as hell. Police, we gotta be better than that. And if you want them kids really to slow down like that, you know, I'm not trying to give them a pass, because that shit was ratchet as hell. It was people getting killed, shot, all kind of shit downtown. You know, I was down here. I be down here a lot, and I don't want shit to happen to me, so we do gotta get better than that. But at the same token, ain't no more school programs. The after school work programs, they took them out the summer work jobs. They starting to bring them back, but it's not too many of them no more. You know, the centers are in dangerous neighborhoods. You put up a boy-girls club, you fuck around and get killed at that shit. So it ain't really nothing for the young people to do anymore. This was gonna happen, you know. Y'all closed down them mental health care facilities, and, you know, temp agencies not really in Chicago no more. Nobody got jobs. What the fuck you think was gonna happen, you know? Crazy. But back to the interviews. People saying, True, man, we ain't seen shit in a while. I had to take a break from this shit. Chill. I've been watching the culture. I see a lot of shit coming. A lot of new content from a lot of people, and that's dope. The blogging culture is growing every day. People didn't understood. You get a camera, tell your story, you know, and hopefully it get picked up in this shit. One thing I learned about this blogging, though, is being around these rappers. You know, I get a different outlook on it as a person who wasn't around these rappers. I used to tell stories when I wasn't around these rappers that was just so big and rah, rah, rah. Now I got around these artists, man. To be honest with you, a lot of these guys use this as an opportunity to make money. Like some of your favorite drill artists who you think is really the most killerest motherfucker on earth, really not. He really is. He'll get in your ass, slap you the fuck up, all kind of shit like that. But he don't want to kill you and harm you. He's trying to get out the community. He got kids. He got bills. Your favorite drill artists that you grew up watching, like in their 30s now and shit. So, a lot of people don't understand that, man. A lot of these guys don't live in that community. They got kids and all kind of shit, man. The culture is crazy. So, I had to chill from the interview shit for a little while. A lot of people don't remember, I'm a blogger. I'm not an interviewer, I'm a blogger, but I got an opportunity to interview people in the culture. And I'm going to go outside the culture and interview too. But I'm back. I had to come back today. I'm back. We got a lot of content dropping. I'm going to be dropping every day. Truth teller back. I had to take me a small little break from this shit, like a 2-week break from the interviews and shit. But we back. I got a lot of exclusive interviews. I did a couple of them today. So next up, I got Butter. I told Butter, I've been seeing you on every platform. It's like every time I cut on YouTube, I see FBG Butter on one of these pages. It seems like the world is recognizing he got a story. And I think that's dope. He got a chance to tell his story instead of everybody else telling this shit for him. I told him, I've been seeing you on the internet everywhere, and you went viral about having some fake money, man. You had the fake bands and people caught it. We talked about that. What he told me about the fake money kind of shocked me, to be honest with you. We talked about a lot of shit, Something about ller shooting one of his ops that was on DJU interview before and shit like that. That somehow got brought up in our conversation. This was a dope interview. I can't wait to show y'all this interview. I didn't hold no punches. I asked Butter everything I wanted to ask him, because I told him about THF Teasy. It's been trending. Police alleging he dropped Duck Low. He told me something I did not know. Something I did not know when he told me that. That interview probably going to be dropping tomorrow. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like button so you don't miss that interview. That was a dope interview. Then I also did another interview. I did an interview with Shit Splat today. Shout out Wooski. I seen Wooski today, man, but I didn't interview him, but he was here today. Got a chance to kick it with Wooski. I like Wooski. I think Wooski a dope dude. But I had a chance to interview Shit Splat gang member C5. C5 been buzzing on the internet lately, real close to Wooski, part of Hattie Way, real close to Wooski brother, who recently lost his life due to gun violence, But he went viral on the internet because the internet says that he the one who got Boss Top beat up in jail. Rumors about Boss Top getting beat up, the paperwork that shows Boss Top was in a fight in jail. He was jumped, all kind of shit went viral. He the guy who put the hit out, what people say. I asked him about that. What he told me was very strong too. I ain't have a chance to talk to him that long, but we did a dope interview. That's going to be dropping too. But what I didn't tell you is Butter went to the board. I took Butter, look, I got the board hanging up. I got the board right there. I took Butter to the board. I can't tell you the board because he did shit to the board. I took Butter to the board. He picked his 10 artists. That shit was dope. We took C5 to the board. He picked his artist. That was dope. I can't wait till them 2 interviews drop. I think both of them going to be classics. Then third interview, I had to make it happen. People kept saying, Truth, you get all the drill legends. It's one legend you got to get on this camera. I interviewed him over the phone a little while ago, but it was time to get him face to face. So somehow, by the grace of God, we linked up. Me and King ller exclusive interview probably going to be dropping. I might drop it tomorrow. I might drop it Monday. This was a classic interview. I think this might be the best interview that I did of the year, in my opinion. King ller didn't hold no punches. We talked about everything. King ller told me everything about, Teasy to KingVon. He told me some shit about KingVon that kind of, man, I was lost when I heard this shit. I said, damn, ller, that's strong, This was a classic interview. I talked to him for a long time, man. We made this shit work. We put it together. This is a classic interview, not a phone interview. This is a face-to-face interview. I was able to send a cameraman to where King ller was at. So we did this interview. It was real dope. The same way Vlad do him, we did him. So we locked eyes in this interview. He had no way to run from my questions or anything like that. This is an exclusive interview. I can't wait till y'all get ready to check this out. So next interview is coming up. It's King ller, FBG Butter, C5, and hopefully tomorrow, man, we're going to be doing about another 3 interviews. So we got a lot of content coming. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Show me some support in this shit, man, because it's hard in this shit. You got to remember, a lot of people tend not to get truth is respect in this shit, but you got to understand that We finna come back in this shit very strong. It's the homie truth. Blah, blah, blah.